ഇവിടെ ഉപസ്ഥിതരായിരിക്കുന്ന എല്ലാവർക്കും നമസ്കാരം. At the outset, let me thank the organizers for giving me an opportunity to come and talk about something which I have been a part of for almost 40 years. When I was initially asked to talk on this subject, I thought that of Sindoor is the most widely analyzed and discussed subject, not only in India, but almost the whole world. Everyone is talking about that. There have been a lot of discussions, analysis. Every TV room became an operational room. We saw more operational rooms across TV channels than the actual DGMO's operations room, which gave some kind of details about the operation. So I thought I'll talk to you from the positions I have been in dealing this. I'm an infantry officer basically who spent a lot of time in Kashmir as well as the military operations directorate. So I'll talk as if I start from Pahalgam and then I'll take you through the whole event as I have seen. It may not be adequate, but I am also sure that everyone in this room is very knowledgeable about what has happened. Everyone has a strong opinion about what happened and what should have happened. So let me start now. When ceasefire was declared, the first thought came into everyone's mind was, have we won the war? Or have we lost? Who has won? Whether it is India, Pakistan or Trump, who won the war? Winning a war is something imaginary actually. In the olden days, when two kings used to fight, one of them used to win, he used to cut the head of the other king, the king who lost, take his wealth, take all his wives, and he start ruling that area also. So there was a clear-cut victory. We know who won and who lost. But as time passed, it became quite nebulous, the concept of winning a war. If you see last 100 or 200 years, that is recent times, there have been very few wars where there was a clear-cut victory. Like if you take Second World War, after fighting for 5-6 years, losing a lot of lives, Germany and Japan were clearly defeated. America dropped a couple of atom bombs in Japan also. Japan and Germany surrendered their arms. They signed on a instrument of surrender, on a document which was publicized to the whole world. Likewise, you come to 1971 when we liberated Bangladesh. That was a second time after Second World War when a whole army of 90,000 put their arms down and surrendered to another army and armed forces. Sorry, in between it is all Army, Navy and Air Force. And the instrument of surrender was signed in the public view. At every place, all 90 of them put their arms down and the commanders at all levels signed a form that we have surrendered for this. Otherwise, if you see when America went to Iraq or Afghanistan, they were there for many years and they left. A lot of lives again lost, money, resources spent, but there was no victory there. America can't say that they won or the other side lost. It is all nebulous. So when we come to this operational Sindoor, when you decide on winning or losing is actually depend on what you want to do. If there are two sides fighting, both sides will decide on this is what I am fighting for. If they achieve it, then it can be considered as winning. But in our case, let us go through what has happened. In April, you know about the Pahalgam incident. It was just 4 terrorists who started all this. Such a mighty country, 1.4 billion people, Indians, and 4 terrorists came and did something which was intolerable to us. So how did they happen to reach there and do this, where it was a peaceful area and there were thousands of terrorists coming there every day for a few months before this and for every year in the previous many years. Terrorism started building up in Kashmir in the late 80s actually. At the end of Ziaul Huq's time it started, but it was in the late 80s that they came in large numbers. Terrorists used to come with arms and stay in villages, recruit people, train them, and the number of security forces deployed there was very little. Only in few places they were deployed, so the whole area could not be controlled. But as 90s passed, by about 2005, India took control of Kashmir. The security situation came under control. Until about 2010, 11, there were sporadic terrorist incidents everywhere. So how do these terrorists come inside? And who are these terrorists? They are Pakistanis and Indians, Kashmiris recruited from India. And these people are recruited, taken to Pakistan. They're trained. There are proper training camps where they stay, like hostels, and where we have a military camp here. Similar camps they are given pay also. When a terrorist goes and joins, they'll be given a little pay, then they keep getting promotions. And after a certain level of training, they are sent to India. Initially, they used to cross the border between the LC, between India and Pakistan, come and stay in villages, do whatever they want. Then slowly in the early 2000s, we woke up actually after the Kargil war. After the Kargil war was the first time when a defense review committee was formed, and it was decided that for us to be a strong military, we need to do certain things. And from there we started all those things which we are seeing now, fructifying, all started from that review committee. So one of the things they did initially was putting a fence all along the LC. It is a multi-layered fencing where there are poles and electric wires, and it is electrified. In between there are minefields laid, and then there are army dogs patrolling everyone. It's a very strong wall of, you can say not a wall, but a fencing. But the problem is the LC between Pakistan and India is so long, and it runs through a lot of big mountains, rivers, valleys. So you can't fence everywhere, and you don't have adequate number of men to put and cover every inch of the ground. So there are gaps in between. So what Pakistan does is, based on these gaps, they'll have an assembly area on their side. So the trained people from the training camps, which I said, those are the training camps. The 9 we destroyed. We'll come to that subsequently. They come to these assembly areas. They have their people here who will tell them these are the gaps through which you can come. They have guides. So they get them across in small groups, 5, 6, 10 sometimes. And the guides are people who have traveled up and down many times. Then they come, there is a receiving area, let's say about 10 kilometers inside India. It will be based on a local village. They stay there, and they stay there for a long time. Then they are distributed to various villages. So we can reasonably assume that almost every village in Kashmir will have trained terrorists staying. But they stay like normal people. Whenever something is to be done, they are taken to another place away from where they are staying. They carry out their activity and they disperse. Army's deployment is meant to cover this. Initially, till about 2010, it was just army and the Rashtriya Rifles who were deployed to cover these gaps, catch them, and till about 2010, we used to kill a lot of militants, arrest a lot of them, put them in jail, try them in court, likewise. So in 2010, it stopped, it became very peaceful. So from the defense grid, the counter-terrorist grid, Army and Assam Rifles were kept only at the LC, towards the border. And the interior areas were handed over to initially the BSF and CRPF. And then when things improved, the state police started looking after the law and order security in the area. Initially, like I said, before 2010, if you had gone to Kashmir, every junction, every road, you will find a lot of armed forces people with their rifle walking up and down. There will be checkposts. Everyone will be checked. If you go to the airport, there will be at least 10 checkpoints through which you have to go through. But as situation improved, we thought now the people also need peace. Like the people staying in Srinagar or Pahalgam, the villagers there are just like us. If you imagine in Trivandrum, at every junction there's a police standing with a rifle, not police, the army standing and going. We don't have that kind of freedom. We are not happy to live in. It is the same with Kashmiris. They also wanted peace. So they were happy when the police took over and there were peace. And even the police started being in the police stations and normal patrolling. It is not that everywhere you find policemen. So the situation improved so much that Pahalgam tourism improved. Not only in Pahalgam, all over Kashmir, a lot of tourists started coming in. That was a situation like what was there in April. On April 22nd, what happened? 4 terrorists who would have come to India many years ago. It is not that they came on the previous day, they would have come many years. It may not be through the fencing, they can come through anywhere. They can take a visa, come for medical treatment somewhere and then go to Kashmir and stay there. I am sure it is very easy to get identification documents made locally at every level. So these people stay in the villages as villagers. If army or police is going to check, you can't make out who is it. He is a normal villager, he's got documents. Unless the person with whom he is staying points out to the security forces that he has come after training. So these 4 people came, they carried out that incident which should not have taken place, and they moved out little bit, dropped their weapons, they'll cut off their beard and hair, change the dress, and they become a normal, they can even become a normal tourist. It is not easy to catch them, but not impossible. And our task is to not only catch those 4 people, those 4 people are actually the smallest cog in the wheel. We have to find who actually trained them, who guided them, who brought them here, and who passed the orders. Probably out of those 4, some may have been captured, some may have been killed, but that we should only divulge when we catch the last man. Like Hafiz said, we identified. So this is how the terrorists came there, the incident happened. So what happens when such an incident takes place? The first reaction is at the Prime Minister and the National Security Committee, that is the Cabinet Committee on Security level. They decide, how do we counter this? This has happened, we need to do something to stop this. So the military part of that counteraction which India takes, that is Op Sindoor. Op Sindoor is purely the military part of the counter action. The rest, there are a lot of things which you are doing at the government level, like you keep reading about the Indus Water Treaty and other things, the trade and so this Sindoor, another thing to note is, this was a counter task to that incident at Pahalgam on April 22nd. It is not a war between Pakistan and India, which is ongoing till we get the whole of India back. That is a lot of things we are doing for that. So the Op Sindoor was declared that we will counter this. Then people thought that for 2 weeks after the incident, nobody is doing anything. All TV channels started saying that there is inaction. We are wasting good time. Then one fine morning, we all heard that the 9 terrorist camps were hit, and we counted more than 100 terrorists killed, and we all know the people whom we wanted, some of them, all those people we have killed. And the aim given for Op Sindoor was hitting the terrorist camp and destroying the terrorist infrastructure. So when we did that, Pakistan retaliated by attacking our border villages, military posts, and some inside areas also. They targeted our military and the civilians. So we again retaliated. We all know, I'll not go to the details of, but at the end we struck all their airfields, and the part of the air attack which finally gave us the sense of victory. I'll request my friend Air Marshal Vipin to cover at the end as a question if somebody wants to ask. I'll not cover that. Then we declared ceasefire. People started talking about whether it was Trump who declared or India or Pakistan who declared. That is not of any consequence, because I said it is a military task of Sindoor was a military task given which was achieved, and we thought it was the right time for us, so we agreed to a ceasefire. So what happens in future? Ceasefire means, does it mean that the war is over? On ground, we are prepared. You would have seen yesterday, you would have read in news what Ukraine has done to Russia. They sent a lot of drones in a truck into Russia. That truck was parked somewhere inside near an airport. Then very cheap drones, it's not very costly also. They operated, they went and destroyed 1/3 of the bomber fleet of the Russian Air Force. What I mean is there are some things which we'll never know. Russians would have never known that such a thing can happen. Unless if you send a big missile from here to there, then it can be caught on the radar. So Pakistan will be on the lookout to do another Pahalgam sort of thing. It can be anywhere. So it is our responsibility as citizens to be aware of what can happen, be careful and inform the concerned people about what should be done in case you notice something like that. Now let's see, have we learned any lessons from this? The CDS spoke during the Shangri-La conference that initially we suffered some setback, but we learned from that and we retaliated and gained a lot at the end. It is same everywhere. There are a lot of new weapon systems which we have bought, which we have only used during our training period. This was an opportunity for us to try all those things. Like we got Rafale, a lot of missiles, even BrahMos. This was a live situation when we could use it and find out in case there are any shortcomings, correct that, and next time we are much better prepared for that, to use the same things in a better way. Same way, things like a CDS was formed not long ago, but we have never gone through a war with that kind of a command and control setup. Now we have seen that the CDS was there, all three arms of the armed forces, they were fighting together and the precision was so good. And the most important thing we noticed here was the jointmanship. You saw everywhere, even while the press conference is there, not only the Army, Navy, Air Force, you will find the ministries, the civilian part of the government, the defense ministry, everyone standing together. So this was a great opportunity for us to test those. Even the recruitment system, Agnivir system had changed. This was the first battle which came. Even though the army did not go in, the armed forces have been doing things on ground, and the commanding officers were in a position to see whether these Agnivirs are good, bad, what are the strength, weaknesses, and they can correct. So it was, this operation was very short, but it was a big opportunity for us to learn and to be better in future. Another issue is we had a thought whether we were alone in this battle. Was India alone? I will not talk about the foreign policy issue that Ambassador Srinivasan will be talking in a much better way after this. But what I mean is, whenever we have a fight, we need friends. Without friends, you can't fight and win always. I'll give you a couple of examples of the kind of friends you have. In 1956, Ayub Khan was the dictator of Pakistan. So that time, China started their infiltration and transgression into Aksai Chin, Arunachal Pradesh, and at the same time, they used to do that with Pakistan also. Pakistan being the POK part also, they used to transgress. That time China and Pakistan were not friends. So Ayub Khan approached Prime Minister Nehru and said that the Chinese are trying to get into India and Pakistan so that they get a avenue and a route going directly to the Arabian Sea. So we must stop that. So let Pakistan and India have a union of defense forces and counter China. This was in 1956. But we could not have agreed to that at that point of time. By 1959, 60, 61, China and Pakistan became so close, and now we cannot even imagine such a thing happening, where India and Pakistan together or India and China together against Pakistan. That is how the time and situation shifts. Likewise, in 1971, that was a time when America became friends with China with the help of Pakistan. Pakistan was a mediator. So Nixon asked China to actively come into Bangladesh, East Pakistan at that time, and counter India. But that time China was not in a position to do that. They were not confident enough, so they did not do. So who came to our help? Russia. If Russia had not come for our help, probably USA would have given a big help to Pakistan and things would have been different. So what I mean is the alliances and friends are very important. Next is self-sufficiency. We know that we use a lot of weapons. We are also on the way to become self-sufficient. Atmanirbhar Bharat we are going to achieve. But that is a very difficult thing to achieve, total self-sufficiency. Even large and rich countries like, let's say, USA and China, if you put a scale of 100 in self-sufficiency, they may be around 80% self-sufficient, America and China. So in our case, we are much behind. We need the help of other people to have the important things to be self-sufficient. You can imagine our largest trading partner is China. Even when we have our largest difference and tussle is with China, but still the trading part, because there are a lot of things from China which we cannot do without. So we have to be actually smart to get those things, get the weapons, even the drones. We had those drones from our friends, we could use it. Otherwise, for us to make the same drones or same weapons is very difficult. I am an infantry officer, so I can tell you from 1947 till now, we have not been able to make a handheld rifle for our infantry soldier. I've been there for 40 years in the training. The rifles we have used are all either imported or whatever we have made, we used to keep in the store, and we used to, in the Kashmir, we used to use the AK-47s captured from the terrorists. Those days, luckily, we used to capture or kill 50, 60 terrorists like that. Okay, so we used to get so many rifles, we use it, and when we leave and go to the next station, we hand over to the next unit. Even now, we are importing that because we don't have the metallurgy for that. Rifle is a simple thing. It's only a barrel, and you put a round and you ignite, so the gunpowder explodes and the bullet goes. But the thing is, when you fire 100 rounds, that barrel will become so hot that it will bend, unless the metallurgy is good. So, but we don't have that kind of thing. So we are still, what I mean is, self-sufficiency is very important. So the government, what they started now, even though it is late, but there have, but drusta. It has started. Let us hope that we come to that stage, so that whenever, if Pakistan or China or anyone comes against us, we are better prepared next time. And the last point I want to say is, we spend too much energy to discuss whether we are better than Pakistan or not. Actually, the levels are too different. Pakistan is nowhere near us. The power of a nation is normally measured with a factor called CNP, the comprehensive national power, that takes into account the geographical size, the population, technological advancement, economy. All these things are taken and a rank list is made in the world. So the number one currently is USA, then China, then Russia, then is India. Means India is in first five. Very soon we can be better than Russia if Russia doesn't improve, because Russia has got a lot of geographical size and technology. That's how they are ahead. Pakistan is nowhere in the anywhere in the list to see. If you open a page, in the first page you will not see Pakistan. They're not strong enough. So when an incident like this happens, of Sindoor, ceasefire, we should not spend too much time on even thinking have we won or not. It's of no consequence. We should see that what have we done it correctly, can we do it better? And our sense of competition should be towards China or USA after that, because we are going to be a big power. We are going to be self-sufficient. So I finish my talk here, and at the end, if there are question and answer session, we'll